How many times have you said yes when you really wanted to say no? That many, huh? I get it. I've been there before. And that's why I'm giving you 15 ways to say no without actually having to use the word. So grab your journal and your favorite pen because you are going to want to write this down. You ready? Let's go. How many times have you found yourself saying yes when you really wanted to say no? That many, huh? I get it because I've been there. And that's why I am going to give you 15 ways to say no without actually having to use the word. So grab your journal and your favorite pen because you are going to want to write this down. You ready? Let's go. So before I jump into the list, I want to offer a quick strategy that you can use regardless as to what your response is intended to be. So whether you want to say yes or no, when someone asks you for something or of something, they want you to do something, pause before responding. Give your brain enough time to really hear what's being asked of you and process what the response should be. Because often we feel under pressure and we respond right away without thinking, and then we later regret whatever it is we said, whether it's a yes or a no. Now, if the request is coming via email or text, some written form, then this is easier because you can just give yourself a moment to respond. But if you are face to face with the person and you feel the need to give a pause, which I hope you do each and every time, what you can do is build it in naturally by saying, hey, can I get back with you on that? Or let me check my schedule. Or I'm not sure, let me talk to my family about it. Or whatever fits that scenario. That is a built-in way for you to take a step back and really think about what's being asked of you before you provide a response. And the more you do that, the more you'll find that the response that you give the first time is the one that you intend to give. Now, if you know you want your answer to be no, you're just feeling a bit uncomfortable getting that little bitty word out, here are the phrases you can use. You just pick the one that is appropriate for your situation. So number one, maybe another time. And so you use that phrase when it's something you might want to do, you just can't do right then, or you don't want to do right then for one reason or another. You can simply just say, maybe another time. Number two, thanks for thinking of me, but I can't. Simple. You're appreciative, it's an honor to be asked, but you can't do it. Number three, I'm not available. And the thing I like about this one, I'm not being available, is you may not be available for a legitimate reason. Maybe you have a conflict or you're going out of town, something else is happening. Or it could be your time to sit at home and eat Bluebell and watch TV. Either way, you're not available. Number four, that's not really my thing. And I use this one when someone wants to go like to a club or something. That's not my thing. So instead of just flat out saying no, I can say that's not really my thing. Number six, now isn't a good time for me. You can leave it at that. Number seven, I have too much on my plate right now. And that is true for me and probably some of you most of the time. I have too much on my plate right now. Number eight, how about you try it on your own first and then I'll help you. And this one is good for the person that never wants to put any effort. They're quick to say, oh, I don't know how, or I'm not sure I can figure this out. Then you can simply say, try it on your own first and then I'll help. Number nine, let's give someone else a try. And man, I have used this one in my corporate field when I just really didn't want to do something. let's give someone else a try. Number 10, I don't have the capacity to help you at the moment. And I don't even think I need to explain that one. That was kind of self-explanatory, huh? Sometimes we don't have the mental capacity. Sometimes we don't have the physical capacity. Sometimes that day or that week is so jam-packed that you just can't add anything else to it. So I think a lot of us can probably relate to that one. Number 11, I'm low on cash right now. Can we do something that's free? Sometimes we feel a little embarrassed to say, hey, I can't afford that. But girl, if you don't just say, look, I don't have the funds for that right now. Can we do something that's free? I don't care where you live. I'm sure there is something you can do for free. Number 12, I've actually changed my mind and I can no longer help you. Now, obviously, this is if you have been quick to respond and you said yes to something you really, really wanted to say no to. You can use this one. It's your prerogative to change your mind and say no. So you can say, I've changed my mind. I can't do that after all, or I can no longer help you. Number 13, this doesn't feel right to me. I'm going to have to decline. I'm sure we can come up with some ideas about why things wouldn't feel right to us, but sometimes that's the truth. It's something about the situation that just doesn't sit well with you, and you can say that. This doesn't feel right to me. I'm going to have to decline. Number 14, I know someone who might be a better fit. I will send you their contact info. Simple. Sometimes someone else is more qualified or they have more time on their hands, and you can say, somebody can get that done better than I can. I'll send you their info. Now, if you want to send them my info, I'm cool with that, but give me a heads up and let me know that you want to give my information to someone, or that you have given my information to someone, just so that I'm not blindsided. I'm happy to help when I can, but give me a heads up. And then number 15, can you keep me on your list for next time? And if it's something that you truly might consider doing, this is an option where you can say no right now, but it gives the invitation for you to be asked again. Now, I went through this list quickly. I think most of them are pretty self-explanatory, but there are a few rules that come with this list. 1, you don't owe anybody an explanation. You can simply let your no, or whatever phrase you chose to use, be your no. You do not have to say no, but, or I can't because. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Now, if you want to give one, by all means, give one. If you want to give a backstory, you can give a backstory, but you do not owe anyone an explanation for your response. They don't have to like it, but they have to accept it, because that is your answer. So practice and get comfortable just saying no without offering an explanation. And if you say no, let your no be your no. Don't feel guilty. Don't be guilted into going back and changing your answer, or you're guilty, especially if the person responds in a way that feels a bit negative or a bit off-putting to you. Don't be guilted into changing your mind or changing your answer. If your response is no, let it be no, and go on and move on. The right people will understand. But if you give yourself a break, a pause, a break in your response, and you use one of these 15 phrases, it should be easier for you to get that no out. And I promise, the more you say no, the better it will feel in terms of not having the regretful moments later down the road, or you being somewhere and your face is all sour, or you have a bad attitude because you didn't want to be there in the first place. Use one of these 15 phrases. So again, pause before giving a response. Use one of these 15 phrases, and then remember, let your no be your no. You do not owe anyone an explanation. So if you use one of these phrases, or if one of them stands out as your favorite, I would love to know what it is in the comments. But don't be afraid to say no when you really mean to say no. Thanks for watching. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Shantology Speaks, the Strong Black Woman's Coach, and I am here to help Black women redefine what it means to be strong. And saying no, whether it's the little bitty word no or one of these phrases, is one way you get your power back. And that's a true definition of strength. Have a great week.